Good evening and welcome to Board of Health meeting, Monday, June 12th, 2023. For tonight's meeting, we'll just have two board members, myself, Rob Lyons, and clerk Andrew Hudson. Tom Duquette couldn't join us this evening. So we're going to get right into the action items. The first is we have an invoice for B&D for the amount of $185 for medical waste pickup. Do I have a motion to pay?
Motion to pay.
Okay. Motion Hudson, second Lyons. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes. We have another invoice for Crystal Rock for water of $529. I'm sorry, $5.29. $5.29. Do I have a motion to pay?
Motion.
Okay. Motion Hudson, second Lyons. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. So we have two invoices for our nurse. One was for Heart Saver instructor course, $275, and CPR instructor essentials course for $38. I'm going to make a motion that we pay those invoices for our nurse.
Second.
Okay. That's motion Lyons, second Hudson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. And then we have two invoices for our health agent. The first is mileage for April and May for $216.51. And then for USPS reimbursement of $41.99. I'll make a motion that we accept to pay those invoices as presented.
Second.
Okay, that's motion Lyons, second Hudson. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes. Okay. So, right now, our health agent is out on family leave. And what I'd like to do is present Bob Bucher and appoint him interim acting health agent. That way there, he can act on behalf of the board, just as if he was the town's, in fact, he would be the town's health agent in a temporary position until our health agent returns from leave. So I'm going to make a motion that we appoint Bob Bucher as our acting interim health agent for the town of East Bridgewater.
Second it.
Okay, so that's motion Lyons. Second Hudson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So that passes. Bob, thank you very much for stepping up and helping us out with that.
Happy to help, gentlemen. Thank you.
We have two pay increases for 2024 fiscal year, and both are at 2%. First is for Jean Marie Joyce, 2% increase for fiscal year 2024. And then our public nurse, Heather Doucette, a 2% increase for fiscal year 2024. I'm going to make a motion that we accept those price increases or pay increases.
I'll second that.
Okay, that's motion Lyons, second Hudson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes.
Excuse me, Rob, can we go back to the minutes?
Oh, did I
Need a
skip? I
motion on-
did.
Yes.
Right, all the hard work I skipped right over. Okay. So, let's see, where it is? Minutes. Here we go. Thank you, Sandra. Okay, I've been. All right, so I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, that's motion Lyons, second Hudson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes. Okay, disposal system construction permits. So we have quite a few. All right, so now Bob, you reviewed these as well?
I reviewed 5 of them, sir.
Okay.
Did you know I was here?
may I
Yep, go right ahead.
speak, Rob? So, Jean Marie, prior to her going out, she went over 127 Village Road. She reviewed 189 Belmont, East Bridgewater, 36 Village Road, East Bridgewater, 220 West Pond, and 625 Bedford Street. All she recommended for approval. They do have variances on them. She did review the variances as well.
Okay. So that's good. Okay, so we're going from 4 to 3. Okay, 3 foot to 3. Okay. All right. Okay, 40 to 30 on the setback. All right. So those all look good, and Bob, you've looked at the others?
Yes, sir.
The other 5? Okay. Any issues you want to bring up or concern?
I would just want to make a note that it's written here on 122 Cedar Street.
Mm-hmm.
The notations, it's a minimum thing. It says a 12-foot vertical separation.
Yep.
Instead of an 8-foot, it's actually inches. That's the tank inverts.
Okay.
I just wanted to make that note.
I'll change it.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we accept the local upgrade approval request as presented.
Second?
Okay, that's motion Lyons, second Hudson. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So those pass. And then, okay, septic system design plan, item to larger stream, as prepared, building instructions. Food trucks catering. Okay, so on the new construction side, we have 1192 Washington Street in East Bridgewater. So I'll make a motion that we accept the system design as presented.
Second?
Okay, that's motion Lyons, second Hudson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes. Mobile food trucks and/or catering. So we have a renewal for Lady Sunshine Coffee. She's been in and been inspected,
Yes.
so we're good there, okay? All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept the renewal of Lady Sunshine Coffee.
Motion to accept?
Okay, motion Hudson, second Lyons. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we have 2 betterment loans. 818 Crescent Street and 380 Pond Street.
The funding's in place. I checked with Melanie.
I'm sorry?
The funding's in place. We
Yeah,
still have
okay.
monies in place. So we can, if the board, so the applicants have been completed, all of the protocols have been checked, and so they're able to move forward in the process.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept the two betterment loan applications.
A motion to accept both?
Okay. Motion Hudson, second Lyons. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes. Okay, so that's loan application. Okay, so we have a permit for a disposal works installers license for here in East Bridgewater. It's P&L Custom Home Builder and Excavation. This is a new license.
He took the exam, passed the exam, paid the fee, and his application's complete.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we accept the license as presented.
Second?
Okay, that's motion Lyons, second Hudson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And then we have the pool permit for the East Bridgewater Y.
The inspection was conducted, and the pool passed, and everything's in place for approval.
Okay. Outdoor, okay. All right, I'll make a motion that we accept the permit to operate the outdoor swimming pool at the Y.
Second?
And that's motion Lyons, second Hudson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so, that takes us through, okay, that's gonna be that. Okay. Now, Bob, at this point in time, I'm sure Sandra's filled you in that, Jane Marie usually gives us a little update as to what's going on, what she sees on the horizon, what she's done. Do you have, feel free to say no if you know, not at this time.
He can say no.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but,
So I met with you, sir, and Sandra last week. I am here by way of the Halifax Public Health Excellence Group, Public Health Excellent Grant-Funded Program. That's what enabled me to get here to assist you
perfect.
in your department. I do believe I mentioned it to you, and Sandra is aware that not only am I available and will be now that I've been appointed the temporary health agent, we have the option to utilize the inspectional services of the three Bridgewaters, Middleborough, Raynham, and Halifax. So obviously not East Bridgewater.
So
The other two Bridgewaters, Halifax, Raynham, and Middleborough, we also have them as in the roster of potential inspectors to come and assist.
So the
here.
bench is deep.
What's that?
The bench is deep.
We have a deep bench. We have a
Alright.
deep bench, and we should be able to keep the East Bridgewater Board of Health propped up
Okay.
quite effectively in Jean Marie's absence.
Excellent.
And may I add one thing too, that was very informative, from now until the end of June for the fiscal year 2023, if we have a contractor, an applicant, an installer that comes and requires an inspection, Bob and that group have stated that we can go ahead and do inspections any day of the week. Right now, prior to this, it was restricted to Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we're opening it up to the remainder of June, to the end of
Okay,
June.
great.
So, and then thanks to Bob and his group.
Excellent. Well, Bob, thanks again, and thanks to your team for stepping up and kind of helping us out when we're in a little bit of need here, so.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Can I add one other?
Yep, absolutely.
Sorry. The rabies clinic was a success. Thank you to Dr. Bonnie and her daughter Erin. They vaccinated over 80 dogs and cats combined. So it was a great success. So thank you to Dr. Bonnie and her daughter.
And thank you. I know that there was a lot of work that you put in to make that the success that it was. So I appreciate all the hard work that
Oh,
you
thank
did
you.
in behind it, so. Okay. So we do have an item that came up at the last minute that's kind of falls under topics not reasonably anticipated by the chair. It's not something that we're going to vote on, but we do have a member of our community that just wanted to kind of come in and chat a little bit. Is Matt here? Matt, why don't you come on up to the table and introduce yourself, and we can start a informational conversation.
Sure. My name's Matt Kruger. I own Mistletoe Acres. Me and my wife do up the street, and we're in the process of building a big barn, and we're doing all things agriculture as far as Christmas trees go.
Yep.
And we're looking to pursue different avenues. I've had multiple meetings with all the department heads, Jean Marie in particular, when she was here. Unfortunately, she's, out on leave or whatever. The reason I'm in here is because in order to design a septic system, I gotta have a base point. And it has to be designed to all aspects of the law.
Yep.
All right, so with the use that I'm going for, under agriculture, I only need 20 gallons. I need it designed for 200 gallons. It's 50 gallons per 1,000, okay? And then for other uses, what I plan on doing is making it bigger, because I would like to have events there. I'd like to have an occasional wedding and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to do is design it based on 100 people. But in the event that I have 300 people, I need to be able
To accommodate that extra.
to accommodate it, but at the same time, I don't want to design this thing for 300 people because I don't know that I'm going to have a 300-person wedding there. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So in the event that I went over 100 people, I want to bring in, I use the word porta potty. It's not a porta potty. It's a trailer. You rent them. Somebody else cleans them. Somebody else maintains them. Somebody else takes care of them. You rent them. They come in for a weekend. They leave. So using that as a base point, what I'm trying to do, function halls are designed 15 gallons per head. So what I'm trying to do is say, if I was to design it this way, at 15 gallons per head for 100 people, 1,500 gallons a day. I am very, very comfortable with that. But I don't want to spend money on engineering for 3 times to kick it back and forth between the board.
Right.
So if you guys are on board with that, that's the way I'd like to do it.
Well, I guess what I'd like to, well, 2 things. We can't vote on it tonight. It wasn't on the agenda. We can get it on there fairly quickly for the next meeting. We do need a little bit of information. I've got a couple of questions, and then we got to go and really do a deep dive into,
Sure.
and I'm sure your engineer is knowledgeable and will, guide you in the right way. And, but I shouldn't say concern, but my question would be, is this going to be temporary just for overflow, or is it going to be there more as on a permanent basis to account for the possibility of any overflow? Do you see what I'm saying? Would you, if you had an event that you knew was going to be over 100,
Yep.
would you bring it in just for that event, or is it something that you plan on leaving there in case that you have
They're
over
like
100?
$3,500 a day. So
Well, I knew
you
they
get
weren't
rid of
cheap,
them
so-
as soon as you're done with them.
Okay,
It's not
all right.
something that would.
Okay, well, that's kind of a horse of different color.
Yeah.
That my first thought was, okay, then, if you're gonna be leaving it there, it might be a different conversation. But, that makes it a lot more palatable if it's just gonna be temporary for a particular event. Again, we gotta look at the rule of law a little bit. I don't know if it requires a permit or not. It may not.
Yep.
Just maybe you bring it in, you get it out, and everything's everything's great. But that was my number one question, it was, how long was it going to stay there? And I think you've answered that. We may ask your engineer to put that in writing or a letter, to the board. In fact, when we do get it on an agenda, it might be, and I don't know if it's in here, if you can add the temporary basis of, and how many gallons it holds, how many would you be looking to have? Because I know that they have, multiple size, how many you'd have on site, if it's just bringing one in, again.
Yeah, everything would be based on heads.
Head
And
count, sure.
actually, the company that supplies it to us, it's all, I think it's on every 50 people, you need an extra toilet. So if we had an event with 150 people, we would only technically need one toilet.
Correct.
Right, so you go to 200 people, you need 2 extra toilets.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have 2 toilets on site, handicap accessible.
Right, okay. All right, that, like I said, I gotta do a little bit deeper dive, and I'm sure the rest of the board does too. And we'll get some guidance from Bob and other folks, and then we can get this on. I haven't looked at the calendar when our next meeting
Our
is.
next meeting is July 3rd.
July
So,
3rd.
Matt, you can let me know if you're ready for it to be on, and then,
And we can get you rolling as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you need more time,
on
that's
June,
fine.
no, here's the thing. There's a reason I was trying to get on this meeting, is because I'm trying to get it designed. What I don't wanna do is tell him to go ahead and design it, kick it to you on July 3rd and 4th,
Yep,
for me
And
to
then-
wait another month for it to get approved. So I'm 2 months out.
okay, so I can't make any promises, but from what I've heard and what I think I know, you should be fine. Again, in the letter, I would put in it being temporary just for
Sure.
the specific events over X amount of people. And, maybe add some of the metrics in behind it. If it's 50 people, I need 1. If it's, 150 people over or whatever, I need 3, whatever the case may be. I'm trying to think of today. I think that's really the only question that I can think of, Bob. Is there anything that flashes?
So, I want to make sure my head's wrapped around the
Sure.
wording, and I do want to clarify that it's my opinion that this can definitely be done in a way that protects public health, and it's reasonable. I just want to make sure
Sure.
the town is protected and public health is protected as well. So the system, George Collins, or the engineer, wants to design the system with an alternative design flow of 5 gallons per day, and that's based on the use of porta potties?
Well, I didn't really like the way he phrased it, because
I've read it a few times, and like I said, it would be my intention to figure out a way we could work with you and your engineer.
Right.
Just making sure we don't overstep any state laws.
Yep.
Essentially. So that would really be my recommendation, would be that as long as we can ensure that we have not overstepped our latitude as a municipal department and stepped on the state's toes of
Right.
DEP, I would think it should be entirely reasonable. So as long as you can make sure that that we're okay.
I think it should be phrased 15, designed at 15 gallons. I think we're juggling 2 of the same things. At the end of the day, a 1,500 gallon system is going to be designed. He called it 5 gallons a day per head at 300. That doesn't cover the function hall capability
Mhm.
of 300 people, but it does at 15 a head for 100 people, which is what he mentioned.
So has the design capacity already been determined and discussed, and you guys are?
I'm trying not to design this thing for the state the state of Massachusetts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Well, I
design
think that's,
something that works because technically, I don't even know that I'm going to have weddings there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? If I,
But have you
But
guys
I got the-
determined a gallon per day capacity? Like, have you discussed and said, all right, this is gonna be the gallon per day capacity we're designing?
we feel that's a comfortable number based on what we have going on there. And there are other places around that don't have restrooms at all, that aren't on public water at all. So what I was trying to do is find an equivalent water usage
Mhm.
for barn weddings. And there's like 5 of them. And the ones that I did find are all in well water, so I'm having a hard time getting that meter reading.
Yeah.
But,
So like I said, my thoughts are just trying to figure out here and now, anything that might hang you up, if there is anything that could hang you up. Like you said, that's what you were really trying to attempt, and as a public health professional, it is my feeling that as long as you can do it within state standards and the town makes a permit, or creates their permit in a way and words it in a way that protects itself and maintains the leverage to revoke the permit if necessary, everything would be fine.
I mean, technically, I could design it for 200 gallons, post a one-day event, rent a trailer no matter what, to hold
Mhm.
however many people, and I'd still fall within the law.
Right.
So, all I'm trying to do is just build something a little bit bigger, so that I don't have to rent a trailer every little event that I have. Make sense?
Yep.
So do you or do you not have a design capacity already determined? That's what
We're trying to stay in that 1,500 gallon a day, yes.
1,500 gallon, okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
which is the
Gotcha.
100 at 15 or
Yep.
5 at 300.
Gotcha. Which is a pretty big system.
It's a big system, yeah, it is.
All right, yeah, I think it should be.
So when you're actually, during the holiday season, when you're selling trees.
Yep.
How is that managed right now?
Right now, everything's with porta potties.
Okay.
Yep. Need one per 500 people. No, one per 100 people.
Okay. And how many people per tree? No. Okay. All right, so, I think we both have a little bit of homework to do, and, we'll get this on the next agenda unless we hear from you that you need more time.
Nope, sounds good. I'll have them work on it, but I just needed to know, I guess George sent me here to
Sure.
talk it over and.
Yeah.
I think it's always,
Yeah, we don't want you to spend any
it's
more
always wise to
time.
put it on everyone's radar beforehand, and
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
Just, okay, so let me change hats here. I'm also a septic installer, okay? I have been installing since 2012. I deal with, 2007. I started the tree fund in 2012. Since everybody has kind of changed hands, things have slowed down on the work end as far as being able to get things done. Mainly because, I don't know what happened here this past month, but whether we missed a meeting or whatever, but there was definitely a backlog on plans. There was a ton of plans. I don't know how many plans you approved tonight. But in the past, it used to be approved by Bob, who isn't here any longer, the Board of Health agent. He was able to do that. Is there any reason why Jean Marie can't do that?
Well, within, Jean Marie being new to the town and new to us, she can approve plans that do not require a local approval, a variance. So if it's required if it's a variance, that's being requested, it needs to come to the board. If new construction and plans that are non-variance, she can approve. Now, we've had, you know, I don't know, again, she was getting ready to go out on leave. I don't know how many that she was able to get done in the last couple of weeks. And we had some calendar shifts. In fact, we put this meeting tonight, which is kind of off our cadence, because we did have a backlog, but from my understanding, a lot of those came in fairly recently. So that's kind of where we're at. But as far as if it needs a local variance, then it has to come to the board, at least for now. So that we can't change that at some point in time. But that's what we decided as a board when Jean Marie came on new to the town.
It would be pretty beneficial to the town if you gave her a little more leeway.
We'll certainly
Because
look into it.
you have homeowners who are trying to sell. And if you guys were trying to sell, you would understand as well.
Yeah.
You have contractors trying to do the work, trying to line it all up. So now what happens, if I have 6 of those jobs, they're all ready to be designed tomorrow. So what's that do to the inspector? What's that do to me? That backs me up. You know what I mean? So tomorrow, I now have to tell 6 of my customers that that person is going first, and that the next one's going next, and the next one's going next, and that the last person is really 6 weeks out, because it takes a week to do a septic, right? But they got a closing date that's really 3 weeks out.
Well, again, if it's
So-
easy and doesn't need a local approval, then they're signed off on and good to go. But again, if there's a variance, right now, it has to come before the board. And if we get backlogged, if we've got some in the hole that we need to have a meeting, we'll call a meeting off cadence to get them moved through.
All I'm saying,
So, I mean, we'll take a look at it.
I think it would be
We'll see what the flow
beneficial.
goes, what the
That's all.
timing is from when the application's put in and then the final approval.
All I'm saying is, I think it would be very beneficial, because
Well taken. So we'll take a look at it.
sounds good.
All right.
That's all I,
Thank you.
thank you.
Anything else?
Nope, our next meeting's July 3rd.
July 3rd, okay. There it is. All right, so I'll make a motion to adjourn our meeting for Monday, June 12th.
Second?
Okay, that's motion Lyons. Second Hudson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous, and that concludes our meeting for Monday, June 12th.